What up, B Squad? It is your boy JB, and we are here today with the review for Rated to Love, Season 7, Episode 3. I think the episode is titled Rated to Love. That's what it's showing on my DVR, but we'll be sure to correct it if it's wrong in the comments, in the title here, and on the channel. But before we go ahead and jump into this review, you guys, if you guys are watching this video or any other video on the channel, and you guys aren't subscribed to the channel, then do me a favor and stop taking me out on this date and having me pay for it at the end of it. You guys can do me that favor by liking the video, subscribing to the channel, turning on your post notifications, and sharing the video. And with that out of the way, without further ado, let's discuss Rated to Love, shall we? All right, you guys, so I want to go ahead and just put this out there so you guys know that I've been dealing with issues with this app and whatnot, and we can't really, curse too much on here or else we will get flagged, right? So I know that I didn't do Sisters this week. I didn't do Love and Hip Hop Family Reunion, and I did not do Growing Up Hip Hop, right? So what I'm thinking about doing is I'm still probably gonna do them, but I'm not gonna do them today or tomorrow. I think what I'm gonna do for all three of the shows that I didn't review this week, what we'll do is I'll put the videos up next week, right? So Monday, I'm thinking I'll record Family Reunion and have it up before the new episode comes on Monday. And then Monday night or Tuesday morning, we'll have the new episode up. And the same for Sisters. Wednesday, the new episode will be up during the day, followed by the past week's episode will be up, followed by the new one. And the same for Growing Up Hip Hop. Now, I haven't even watched Growing Up Hip Hop. So I got to watch that one. But Sisters and Love and Hip Hop's Family Reunion, I definitely watched them. I just gotta figure this out, you guys. But let's talk about Rated to Love, shall we? So Rated to Love, this is the ladies' lounge. So the ladies are meeting Tommy in the lounge. Baby, a lot of those ladies had a lot of cleavage on, and I'm like, this is a church with a bar. But so the ladies meet Tommy, and Marcia, she was describing the church, right? And she was talking about, yeah, it got these, these painted mirrors. I'm like, those are stained glass windows. But okay, maybe she don't know what a stained glass window is. Maybe not, right? But she called them colorful mirrors, but they're stained glass windows, right? So this week, the ladies are in charge of sending one of the men home, right? So Tommy has tasked the ladies to take these men out on a date, and I want you to tell them something that you ordinarily wouldn't tell somebody right away. I was like, okay, I get that, right? Pretty cool. So the first date we see is Mercedes and Sue-Ann, right? So we got our very first exercise date of the season, right? So it looked like they had skates on, but they're jumping. So I forgot what it's kanga something, like kangaroos. And it actually really looked very fun. But again, it's just not something that I would take, like a first date or anything, but it definitely did look fun, right? So like I said, it's Mercedes and it's Sue-Ann, right? So Mercedes and Sue-Ann are having a double date with Blake and with Mark Anthony, right? So Blake and Mark Anthony both show up. Immediately, Blake was turned off by it. I'm like, dude, my thing with Blake was, and then also with Mark Anthony, because he's like, his boys ain't gonna let him live this down. I'm like, sir, it's a skate with a mini trampoline on it. What are they not gonna let you live down? The fact that it's like, think of it as you have some skates on, you're in a bounce house. That's all it is. You're just jumping in place. Like, it sounded so stupid to me, to be quite honest with you. It really sounded stupid to me, right? So they do that, and then afterwards they sit down. Now, I will say with Sue-Ann and with Mercedes, if I had to grade them on if they did the assignment, I would give them I'm stuttering. I would give them a big fat F, right? Because they didn't do the assignment. Because the assignment was to tell well, I guess if I had to be honest, she didn't really tell it. It was more so kind of pulled out of her. Mercedes, right? So Mercedes went to the side and she had a conversation with Mark Anthony, right? So she was feeling Mark Anthony out. She was asking him about himself. I told you guys, I knew I was right about Mark Anthony. He's cocky. because he's intelligent, he's good looking. No, I'm just kidding. That's what he said, right? But then he told her how, he's moved around, so he's just, I guess he's now getting used to stability at 34 years old, huh? Okay. So he at one point asked her, when was your last relationship? And so she said her last relationship was about a year ago. And he asked her, what happened? She said there was infidelity. He asked her on whose part. She said her ex-boyfriend, because he cheated on her, and that cheatation resulted in a baby. So that was a deal breaker for her, right? So then we move over to Suanne and Blake, right? Blake was still in his feelings about the date, and I'm like, dude, it wasn't that bad. Like, all you did was put on some skates with something that can make you jump up and down. And he was like, you left me hanging. So, if we come into a situation like, where like this again or something, we need to have a code word or a nickname. So he gave her the nickname of Susu, and she was just elated about Susu. I'm like, girl, I'm gonna leave Susu alone. But I want to pause here and I want to move forward. All right, you guys. So the next date is going to be between Cynthia and Andre. Now I tweeted this and I saw two other people who tweeted it right after I tweeted it last night. When I look at Cynthia in the face, she looks like the actress Kalita Smith, who played on the Bernie Mac show, who played Bernie Mac's wife. She looks just like her, right? I think she might be a little bit lighter than Kalita is, but she still looks just like her, right? The other thing that I'm so confused about is all the ladies are very much so interested in Andre, and I'm just like, what is it about Andre? Because all I can see is the Tyler Perry mic that's in the front of his head. That Tyler Perry mic just annoys me. Like, every time I see Blake, you guys remember when Tyler Perry's plays back in the day when they used to be acting, it would just be this. This would be in the front, this would be in their head. This is all I see when I see Andre. So I guess we're just gonna leave this here for a few minutes because we're gonna talk about Andre, right? So this date, they went painting. I hope you guys can still hear me, by the way. So they went painting for their date, and they're talking about, Cynthia, right? Cynthia's a very, very beautiful woman. So they were talking, he asked her about her, being in a relationship, if she can be, what did he say? I forgot what he said. We gotta put this back on because I can't hold that. I forgot what he said to her, but she was talking about the fact that she's always been a strong person, and that she really hasn't been in a relationship with a quote a real man, right? So she's always had to be strong, and I was like, okay. And I love that vulnerability when she showed that, and then she started crying, and she doesn't want to cry on TV. I'm like, no, go ahead, it's fine. Like, let it out. It's fine because it shows that you do have a soft side, right? It shows that, and I really do. I like Cynthia, right? And I don't dislike Andre. The only thing for me with Andre is just the hair. I think with Andre, if he just cuts all the hair off, right, cut it off, and clean up his beard a little, just clean up the beard and everything, because if you can get past, I think if you can really just get past Andre's hair, Andre is a very handsome guy. If you can just get past the hair, but it's the hair. Like, I'm sorry, because I listening to that, looking at that date and listening to the conversation, I couldn't see anything other than his hair. But like I said, I think Andre is a really good guy, and I think he. Only thing besides the hair that annoys me with Andre is the whole last week they brought up the whole alpha male thing, and you guys know I'm just not interested in that. I don't see that I don't like that alpha male stuff, right? But that's neither here nor there, right? But I do love that, in that particular moment, Cynthia. So if I had to grade this date and on what Tommy asked for, Cynthia got an A+ because she did exactly what Tommy asked her to do. He asked her to, to tell somebody, tell the person that you're going on a date with, something that you ordinarily probably wouldn't share this early in the process of dating someone, and that's what she did, and I appreciate it, all right? I appreciate it. So next up, we got Corvea. So Corvea is going out on a date with Paw Fabrice, right? So Corvea, if I'm giving a grade on this one as well, I gotta give Corvea a big ass F. Right? Dang it, I said it. Oh God, I gotta give Corvea a F because the date was cool. I like the date, right? They went, on a bicycle ride. Now, Paw Febreze would have been the last person that I would have went out on a date with, but that's neither here nor there, right? Now, I'm gonna give some negatives against both of them in this particular date. Now, I know she was trying to get to know him and ask him about his business, right? But I'm not calling Corvea a gold digger, right? That's not what I'm gonna say. I don't feel like she's being gold digger-ish, but I can see how the men kind of get that vibe because that's really what she brings up. I don't have an issue with the woman that wants to be taken care of by a man. I have no issues with that, right? Men, niggas do it, use women all the time, right? So I don't have an issue with it. I just don't think that should be something that you necessarily lead with, right? Lead with trying to get to know someone. Again, I'd have an issue with her asking him about his businesses, but it kind of, it could be leading, right? It could feel like you're leading to this, leading to that, leading. So that's how I feel. Let me know what you guys think, right? But like I said, if I can give her a negative, I'm definitely gonna come back and give Paw Febreze a big negative, right? So Paw Febreze, he was talking to her, and I didn't like the way that he was. It's kind of like he was trying to analyze her and tell her who she is. And I'm like, wait a minute, bruh. That would have been the moment that I would have been like, you know what? On that note, like that SpongeBob meme and that Viola Davis meme, I would have grabbed my stuff and I would have walked right out the door because I'm no. Paw Febreze, bye-bye. Let's pause here and move over to the next date. So the next date we got is with Morgan and Marcia, and they're going to have a picnic on the beach with Tony the player and roommate Lyndon, right? So Morgan took the assignment and she did the assignment, right? So Morgan revealed to everybody, right? Not just one guy. She revealed to everybody, including Marcia, that she's never been in love before. Now, I don't know how old not Marcia, but Morgan is. And Tony, in his interview, I'm not saying it's a red flag, but it's kind of alarming. I'm going to talk about Tony in just a minute. So Tony and Morgan went out to have a conversation, and then Marcia and Lyndon were talking, right? So Marcia was talking to Lyndon, and she was like, I gave you my number, and you haven't really reached out to me, right? And he was like, yeah, the lifestyle that he works in that nightclub lifestyle. So part of me I kind of understood what he was saying, but mostly I agree with what Marcia said, right? I get it. Somebody who works, like, you think about it, people who work night shifts, right? Who work what do they call it again? The graveyard shift, right? People who work the graveyard shifts, right? They work at night, but then they come home in the day, so they sleep through the day, and then they get up later in the afternoon. Probably by the time that people like me who work a 9 to 5, I'm getting home at about 4 o'clock in the afternoon. I'm cooking dinner, and then I'm getting ready to go to bed. But this person is just getting up and just getting their day started right by the time I'm winding my day down. So I get what he was trying to say. Probably he's trying to say is, he wants to be respectful of her time. But he didn't say that. I'm pulling out of thin air. I think that's what he was trying to say, but he didn't necessarily say that. But I do agree with what Marcia said. We make time for what we want to make time for. And I was like, absolutely, 100% true. She was like, I get what, and she said it as well. She understood what he said, but she's not going to let him off that easily. And I 100% agree, right? So we move back over to Tony and Morgan, right? So Tony was talking about the fact, and I'm sorry, you guys, and I'm probably talking way too fast. But Tony was talking about the fact that Morgan saying that she's never been in love before is a red flag. That's not necessarily a red flag. There are plenty of people who may have been in relationships, right? But you can tell, like, I'm more into you than you are into me, or I'm in love with you, but this isn't my forever person. Like there are so many things that could come from her saying she's never been in love. She may have not have felt true love, right? But she's probably been in love before, but she's just never been in love to the point where she knows this is her person, that they are meant to be together. But Tony, I want to get on you real quick, right? I feel like Tony is a player. He's a chameleon, right? Because he fits and he fits and he changes him. It's like he tries to mold himself into whatever woman he's interested in wants, right? Because remember, him and Marcia, they matched on the fact that she wants a man that goes, or was it Morgan? One of those women he fits with them because of God, right? Like he's a chameleon. He just changes. He just basically changes whatever he needs to be that man that woman thinks she wants. And I see right through you, Tony. So you call her a red flag, but I call you a bigger red flag. You and your red shirt that you got on, like you are the bigger red flag, Tony. So ladies, I know a lot of y'all. I know a lot of the cast be watching my videos. Well, hell, the show is already wrapped. But if anybody sticks to the end with Tony and you still with Tony, break up with him. Period. Point blank. Break up with him because he's full of God, I can't cuss. He's full of, because I was about to say something else. He's full of horse, S-H-I-T. That's what he's full of. I was gonna spell horse, but I was like, I don't have to. That's not a curse word. But he's full of horse crap. Do y'all like this? Let me know in the comment section. God, this is gonna be difficult for me to just do a video and not say any. It's not difficult, but I do like to say it's sometimes the curse words hit better than saying something in substitute of it. Oh God, this is gonna be horrible. I am definitely gonna have to make a podcast because there's just no way I can I want to feel free to say what I want to say on my channel and not be worried about being DMonetized because I don't even know if I don't know how they feel about that either. But I don't, it's just, I don't know, you guys. But let's pause here and wrap up. So Jeffrey and Demario went on a horseback riding date, right? Now for Jeffrey to keep talking about she's done this, I'm like, girl, but that horse was kind of bucking just a little. Either that horse was bucking or that horse couldn't support her. One of the two, right? Why did Demario show up in steel-toe boots? I'm like, you couldn't go buy no cowboy boots, sir. But okay, neither here nor there, right? That day. So I do want to say one thing about the dates in this episode. They were all boring. Except for Cynthia and Andres. That I would love to, I've done the painting before. I actually have my painting right here in front of me that I did. Well, I have one of them. The first one that I did is gone. And I'm so glad it's gone because it was hideous. Actually, let me show you guys my last painting that I did because it's really a nice painting. Yeah, see? Look at that. Isn't that a cool painting, you guys? Very cool. Ouch. Oh no, we're about to fall. All right, you guys. So yeah, all the days were boring to me. Jeffrey didn't really reveal much. She did talk about her parents divorcing. So I guess if I have to grade Jeffrey, I would give her a slight B minus because the date fell flat for me. I don't know if it's because I tweeted this, that there was no chemistry between Demario and between Jeffrey, right? But the issue that I was thinking about, I was watching the episode and I later tweeted it again, and then they brought it up in the ladies' lounge when they were talking about who they like and who they don't like. And, I tweeted this, that when it comes to Demario is very monotone. Like he just talks in one tone. So you can't really tell if he is happy sad, upset, mad, angry. Like you can't really tell. So I was like, okay, because I forgot who it was that mentioned it, right? So Jonique, whatever her name, Jonique, whatever her name is again. Sorry, I don't mean to butcher your name, but I think it's Jonique or it's Jonique. She went to a wine bar with Lyndon and child. If I have to grade her on this, if she did the assignment right, but I gotta give her a D. Can't even give her a C. Nah, we'll give her a C minus, right? We'll give her a C minus because she did do the assignment, but I don't know who that was supposed to help. Letting Lyndon know that you compare the guys you date to each other. Why? Why? I would never mention I would never mention an ex. So I'm not gonna talk about the ladies' lounge because you guys know I don't really too particularly care about the ladies' lounge or the gentleman's lounge. So we get to the final, we get to the eliminates, and it is Sue-Ann and Blake and Marcia and Papa for Breeze, right? I did want to mention one thing. So Jeffrey in the ladies' lounge, she was talking about the fact that Blake had told her that he hates, he basically hates going through this process and talking to these ladies because he's already found his choice, and it's her. I was like, oh, okay. So Sue-Ann brought that up to him. He says it wasn't true. Paw Febreze is the one that ended up going home. Thank God for that one. But that's the episode, you guys. I want you guys to get down in the comment section and let me know what you guys thought about it. Subscribe to the channel, turn on your post notifications, and share the video, you guys. And until the next time, please stay safe out there. Take care of yourselves. Wash your hands. Be blessed. And I'll catch you guys in the next one. Bye, guys.